I am holding my breasts, trying to imagine what it's going to be like when I wake up in a Sloan Kettering recovery room and these boobs are gone. They occupy so much space. Will I feel a huge loss or a huge relief? No breasts means no bras, and I could really do without all this chafing. Looks like I've found that silver lining. I remember watching my aunt reach over to her missing breast and feeling for what was no longer there. I sat there thinking, that will never be me. Turned out, it is me. Times 2. Is it strange of me to think I'd rather have both gone than one missing? I became obsessed about this tumor critter inside of me. One minute, it was sleeping mouse, all curled up, embedded inside my breast somewhere. The next, it was an angry little blue crab stuck in there, attacking from within. My mind looped about this aggressive chemo. I was undergoing for this aggressive breast cancer I was diagnosed with. I was receiving the full package of MSKCC's most aggressive HER2-positive chemotherapy allowable on any otherwise strong, healthy body. I had never heard the word aggressive so many times in one day, most especially not aimed at and describing anything about me. My tumor was awful and tender. No matter how I positioned my body, I could feel it, driving me crazy. I wanted it out of me, but I still had months of chemo before surgery. How will I go about my days knowing I have this thing in me wanting to kill me? I had to do something, anything. Then it hit me. I had to remove this tumor myself. I grabbed my sewing kit, an old pair of Boxer's art supplies, and a glass jar. I created an arts and crafts version of my tumor and stared into its ugly eyes. It was at this moment I came to realize that this tumor and I were in a relationship, and I was in control. I put my tumor in the glass jar, closed the lid, imagining that I was suffocating it. This felt so good. I opened the lid again. With my mouth to the mouth of the jar, I called the tumor, "Motherfucker!" and closed the lid again, even tighter. I stood up and put my cancer in a jar on a table away from me. I let go and sat back down. This overwhelming feeling of relief came over me, and I felt something I hadn't felt in months. I relaxed. In front of me was my cancer, now with air between us, no contact. Spiritually, it was no longer inside of me. It wasn't a part of me. It was a part of me. Across the room, far from me, detached, suffocating, contained, muted, muffled, insignificant. I accidentally found strength and healing. I enjoyed watching friends open the cancer in a jar and their individual reactions.
Drop dead, you stupid piece of shit.
I hope you rot in hell.
God, I thank you for removing from my friend this horrible...
Even when cursing out my cancer in a jar brought some friends to tears, I felt something good was happening. I created separation. I filed for divorce. I invented freedom. A week later, I brought the cancer in a jar to my oncologist. I couldn't wait to tell her all about it when she walked into the examining room. Before she could greet me, I blurted, "I've taken my tumor out. It's in a jar now."
Oh, really? I'd like to see this. Why don't you lean back and let me examine you before today's treatment?
So far, I've had 2 rounds of chemotherapy, and today would be number 3. Don't you hate when doctors stop in their tracks like this? Of course, now I'm expecting bad news.
What side was your tumor on? I don't feel it anymore. You know, I think that your tumor dissolved and your immune system, rather, is gobbling it up. Maybe you did really take it out and put it in that jar.
5 weeks into treatment, and my tumor melted away.
You know, it's very rare for a tumor like yours to shrink so fast and in such a short amount of time.
Patience? We have influence.